The Boston Celtics are easily one of the biggest winners of free agency. Brad Stevens made two major moves. He traded for Malcolm Brogdon of the Indiana Pacers, and he picked up veteran forward Danilo Galina. With these two moves, the Celtics managed to improve a roster that was just 2 wins away from winning the championship last season. So in this video, let's dissect both of these moves, and I'm going to explain why the Celtics had a great offseason. But before we continue, I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so please, if you enjoy the content, please like the video and hit that subscribe button. Now let's get started. Let's start off by talking about the Malcolm Brogdon trade. In this trade, the Celtics moved Daniel Theis, Aaron Nesmith, 3 reserves who only play in garbage time, plus a 2023 first round pick for Malcolm Brogdon. This was a great trade by the Celtics, and that's because they were able to make a big upgrade to the roster without giving up much in return. Aaron Nesmith and Daniel Theis weren't in the Celtics playoff rotation, and while they did give up a first round pick, for a team like the Celtics that's a contender, first round picks aren't a big deal because their picks will be a late pick anyway. With Brogdon, the Celtics are getting a high quality point guard that thrives on both ends of the floor. One way Brogdon helps the Celtics is addressing their need for playmaking. Even though Boston got deep in the playoffs, it was clear they needed another ball handler that could generate shots for his teammates. Brogdon is fast and has a nice handle, so he can break down the D very easily and finish at the rim. And his court vision is good, so he has a good sense of when to kick the ball out to open shooters on his drives. Last season, Brogdon averaged 6 assists per game, and just a couple of years ago, he averaged 7 assists per game. So it's clear that Brogdon is a very good playmaking guard. This is going to make Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's life a lot easier. In the finals, it was clear that the Celtics needed another player that could collapse the defense and create open shots. The Celtics played good defense in the finals. They lost that series on the offensive end. The Celtics scored just 100 points per game in the finals, a far cry from the 112 points per game they averaged in the regular season. A legit playmaking guard in Malcolm Brogdon will make a world of a difference. Another reason Brogdon is a good fit is because he fits into the Celtics' defensive scheme. The Celtics run a switch-heavy defense, so big players that can guard multiple positions is a necessity. Brogdon is 6'5" with a 6'11" wingspan, and he's known as a good defender, so he should fit right into the Celtics' defensive scheme. Now, one red flag is that Brogdon only shot 31% from 3 last season, and in order to play next to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, he's going to need to shoot the 3 ball a lot better than how he shot it last year. But Brogdon is a career 38% 3-point shooter, so maybe he's just coming off of a down year, and next season, he'll go back to shooting the ball well. Another red flag is that Brogdon is pretty injury prone. He only played 36 games last year, and he's played over 70 just one time in his career. If Brogdon gets hurt come playoff time, then this trade could backfire, but if his body holds up, then Boston is going into next season with more firepower. Now let's talk about the Danilo Galina pickup, who was signed to a 1-year deal for $6 million. Even though he's a 13-year veteran, Gallo still has plenty left in the tank. He averaged 12 points per game for the Hawks last year and was one of their top guys off the bench. At his age, Gallo is pretty slow on the defensive end, but he's still someone that can get you a bucket. He may have lost athleticism, but at 6'10", he can still rise over defenders and score in the mid-range. And he's still a knockdown outside shooter, hitting 38% from downtown last year. The addition of Gallo improves the Celtics' weak bench. In the finals, the Celtics were getting nothing from their second unit, and that's another one of the main reasons they lost to the Warriors. Having a shooter and scorer like Gallo off the bench will make a big difference for Boston. Overall, it's hard to not like the moves that the Celtics made in free agency. They upgraded a roster that was in the finals last year. Now, the Eastern Conference is still really tough, and the Milwaukee Bucks, who came pretty close to defeating the Celtics in last year's second round, will be getting Chris Middleton back. But after the moves that the Celtics made, I think you can make a pretty strong argument that the Celtics are the favorite in the East to get to the finals. But now I want to hear from you guys. Did you like the moves that the Celtics made this offseason? Do you think the Celtics are the favorite to get to the finals in the East, and can they win the championship next year? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it and hit that subscribe button for more content.